guys, I usually don't make these types of videos where I address a situation, but recently I've just received numerous DMs regarding the fact that me collecting dolls is taking away dolls from kids and taking away toys and plushes from kids and then creating a shortage of those items. And I just feel like this needs to be talked about. I have received these types of comments and DMs in the past, but they seem to be ramping up in frequency, and we just need to talk about it because it's absurd. But before I get into that, let's just address two things first. So, number one, I do live in the US. I can only speak for the US, and the people that message me are always from the US. And the most recent person that I'm going to be talking about, I'm not going to name them, but I am going to talk about some things that they said. They live in the US. And I know that for sure because not only can I tell based on their pictures, they also have it in their bio. And then the second thing, I know that somebody's going to bring it up about economics and financial well-being and people not being able to afford dolls. The people that messaged me this, including the most recent person that messaged me this, they seem to have pretty good lifestyles. Especially the most recent person, they have a house that's like 10 times bigger than mine. They post about a very nice car that's presumably theirs because it's on their feed all the time. And then on top of that, they post about lavish vacations multiple times a year. Like, I literally scrolled through their posts and they have many vacations and they all look lavish. And I know that Instagram doesn't always reflect reality, but I'm pretty sure that if you were super poor and could not afford toys, you would not be posting about these things that often. And if you were faking them, then you have a deeper problem than not being able to afford toys. But anyways, those two things out of the way, there is no shortage of toys going on right now in the United States. These people create a problem out of nothing. Literally, Walmart, Target, and Amazon are stocked full of toys right now. Any type of toy that you can think of that you could want. There's dolls, toys, action figures, puzzles, plushies. There is 1,000 toys you can get at Walmart just by walking in. And that's not to mention all the other stores that you can go to, like Macy's now has a Toys R Us. I think it's in most locations. Then there's Kohl's, then there's like Michael's sometimes sells toys. There are tons of stores that sell toys. And if you can't find a toy in stores that you really want, chances are it's going to be available online. And anyone has the right to purchase these. You don't have to have a kid. So as a collector, I am within my right to buy one or two or even three of the same doll if I really wanted to. Now, I don't really do that because I don't have the space for that, but if I wanted to, I could walk in the store and buy like 10 of them and Target wouldn't bat an eye. And the reasoning behind that is if you have the money and you go in the store and you purchase it, you have the right to own it. You don't have to have like any in-depth reasoning. You don't have to have a kid, and anyone can buy anything in a store. And these people act like by me buying one doll, I'm creating like this fictional shortage that almost feels like they're describing the end of the world for kids. And in reality, I would say toy sales have dropped down a lot. If you look at the stats, companies are having a harder time producing toys that interest kids because a lot of kids are now into technology, and that's a whole problem of itself. But toy companies are having a hard time marketing to kids, and now collectors are actually the ones stepping in and buying a lot of these toys. So in reality, you could technically say you can thank collectors for keeping the toy industry alive at some times. And a lot of the toys that I personally collect, they're used and they're old. Like, a lot of them are from like 2010, and kids are just not going to be interested in that because that's not what's being shown in cartoons and media right now. So most of them, they've probably not heard of Winx. Like, I would say the kids that I know that are between the ages of like 7 and 12, they don't know what Winx is. They don't really care about watching the old Barbie movies. They're not into Disney collector dolls like the ones I have up there. They're like the 17-inch ones, and that's because they're expensive and they're specifically for collectors. So I would say majority of my collection consists of that, and the toys that I do have their play line, like the ones behind me right here, there is plenty of them. They were available for a very long time, and there wasn't like a limited quantity of them, so by me buying one, I did not take away a toy from any kid. In reality, I just bought one for myself. Now, I get if it was like a collector that's buying like, I don't know, 10,000 of a doll, like, yeah, they're taking away toys, but I'm buying one. One does not impact the market at all. And even if I bought 2 or 3 or even 4, which is crazy, I would not be hurting any child because the matter of the fact is that toy is up in the store on a shelf. It's not being like physically taken out of a kid's hands, and these people make it sound like it's being like that. In reality, when I'm toy shopping, like, the toys that I get, there's plenty of on the shelf majority of the time. So it's not like I'm taking the last one and like there's a kid just standing there with their eyes wide open begging to keep it and I'm just holding it hostage and saying, no, this is mine. Like, I'm literally buying dolls that there are like 10 of on the shelf. I do realize that this is probably getting a little long, so I'm going to wrap it up. But I just wanted to finish off with the fact that when these people are presented with evidence, like when I sent them links and articles talking about toy sales and how there's tons of toys available, and I even included like screenshots of Target and Amazon and like their toy sections and showed them like there are tons of toys, including very affordable options too, if that was a concern, that they can purchase, that anyone can purchase if they're in the US. And instead of like taking this and understanding it and processing it and stuff, this person just resorted to name calling and saying that I'm mentally ill and like me collecting dolls is not normal. I should be locked up in an asylum. And in all honesty, like, no offense to this person, but if you are getting so worked up and starting to cuss out somebody and call them names just because they're a stranger on the internet that has no impact on you whatsoever collecting dolls, then maybe you should be the one to seek mental health treatment options. Anyways, I hope that this wasn't like too aggressive, but I'm just getting so fed up with this mentality of like doll collectors are causing a shortage, and it's like there is no shortage of toys going on right now. Be real. And on top of that, if there was a shortage of anything, it's probably a shortage of rational people on the internet. Anyway, bye!